This video I am making as a shout out to a content creator on here named Tiffany from New York. Hi. I am making this video from a very rural part of West Tennessee, so sending you a digital big wave from there as well. And I found your channel through your interview with Winston Wu, who I'm a big fan of, his message and his website and everything. I think that's really cool. You had 2 interviews with Winston Wu. I think that's awesome. I listened to both of them. I think both of you guys made some really good points. I wish Winston would interview me. I'd love that. I'd love to. I'd probably I'd probably burn his ear off talking about some things. Anyway, are you from Utah or are you from New York? I'm not sure. I remember going to visit the Southwest. I love the scenery. I don't remember much about people. I think I was still in high school. It's beautiful out there though. Sunsets to die for. Dry. Summertime. In the Southeast, it's hot and it's humid and it's friggin' miserable. I'd rather deal with hot and dry personally, but that's just me. We're talking about how people are different in America in different regions. There's some differences, and I think Americans in general, to me, and I guess there's some variations depending on the region, they tend to be very cliquish and very socially insular. This seems to be true no matter what region you're in. It's like they only stick with their little in crowd of people they have known since childhood. It's very difficult to meet people, especially when you get older. When you get at least past college, it's really tough because people are not letting new people into their social circles anymore. So yeah, it's tough. And you mentioned the Southeast. I don't know if you spent much time here. Yeah, there is an element of friendliness down here. I do agree with you on that. I will say there's something to be said for, in my opinion, as someone who born and raised in the South, I can tell you, I can elaborate a lot more on the culture. And people down here tend to be, they're not very inclusive. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, Southern hospitality is still a thing, especially if you get outside the metro areas. You get to experience it. But for the most part, they have their little tight little circles of friends, and from going way back when, and they don't really step outside that. Yes, church is a big part of the culture down here too. It might be the one place they're more inclusive is in church. Passive aggressive behavior. Yeah, okay, and I've heard about that on the West Coast. I visited out there. I have visited various states. I guess the one region of the U.S. I don't think I've visited is probably the Great Plains region. I don't really have any interest in that area. Just miles of flat land. Sounds kind of depressing. I don't think. New York. I have been to New York. It was before 9/11. I do remember. We had a good time. We toured the Tate Gallery and did some sightseeing and all that. That was fun. I remember one thing that surprised me. about New York, and it was how expensive everything was. I remember we were at the John F. Kennedy Airport. We landed, and there's a vending machine somewhere, and this is 2 years before 9/11, to reiterate, and a bag of chips or a soda is $1.15. I'm like, holy cow, oh my God. Oh gosh, who knows what that is now, I mean, right? But yeah, so that's a little bit on where have I been and what areas, what do I know much about. I don't think I'd want to live in Seattle. No, Seattle's like a hard pass for me. It's dreary, it's very hyper liberal. I have visited Seattle. It's been a while. It was probably when I was in the second or third grade. I think we went for a vacation, but nothing I remember about that place. Yeah, I saw the Space Needle. Big whoop. I wasn't impressed. But yeah, I don't really think I'd want to visit Seattle. It doesn't interest me at all. It's passive aggressive behavior. I can't stand passive aggressive behavior. I think people in New York have this reputation for being brusque and outspoken. That might take some getting used to for some of us, I guess. But I think if you did get used to it, it'd probably be easier, better to deal with than passive aggressive behavior. Apparently, Seattleites are like this type that goes, "Oh yeah, how about I'd like to do something sometime." No, not. And then what they really mean is no, and they're just being polite. Is that what it is? Okay. Some of your thoughts I wanted to reply about when you said there's a beautiful sunset where it's about right now. It's about a little bit after 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Okay, I wanted to respond to some of your comments you made about dating and down here. You said something about you had a guy reject you because you didn't have a bachelor's or a master's degree or a certain level of job, and I wanted to touch on that. Now that's unheard of where I'm down here. Only reason I think a guy no guy gives a crap what kind of job you have or degree. I wonder how. Oh my goodness. As long as it ain't something heinous like drug mule, they don't really care. Only reason I can see that being justified is in New York and California. If you're talking about a guy from New York or California, and those are the most expensive states in the U.S., and that's the only reason I can think of where that might be important for men. I don't know. But anywhere else, I don't know. So, what European countries have you been thinking? Was it Europe or what? Have you been thinking about? I probably missed some things. That you and Winston were discussing. I don't know if you want to move overseas. We're finally thinking about that and hoping you might meet a nice guy there or something. Anyway, well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit because I was thinking I don't know if you're a tourist, anyone's a tourist, you're going to be treated like a tourist versus if you're actually putting down roots somewhere. I guess that might be different. But yeah, I have been to Europe. It's been a while, but I do remember, guys will come up and talk to you. It's not, people didn't, it was in the 90s when I went. People aren't as cliquish as they are here. Now, I don't know if that's changed, and Could be still the same, or it could be different. I don't know. But I can tell you this: there is something about American guys, and you probably notice this for yourself. They tend to flex. It's the one big negative about them is they are prone to exaggerating or bragging. I really think it's the culture that makes them feel insecure, and that's why they do it. If you're like me and you got a good BS detector upstairs, then you can tell, you can just kind of laugh off or brush off some of the things they say. But this culture is why a lot of people, men and women both, I think, are insecure, because you're always made to feel like you're just never not good enough, or you're not this, you're not that, you're not rich enough, you're not attractive enough, blah, 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 all day long. And, and yeah, people are kind of insecure. Yeah, definitely. But I don't like this culture either. I really, honestly, I wish I could live overseas. I don't really know if it's feasible or not. I'm in a situation right now where I'm actually having to move. Some crap going on with my people in my family, and I'm not gonna get into that here, but yeah, everything you said, I mean, is pretty accurate. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, America is a business, not a country. I heard that from someone on here, and I couldn't agree more. That is it, pretty much. Yeah, I don't. It feels like you never do feel valued for who you are deep down. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Well, I think I've made it a little bit longer than, okay. But anyway, okay. But anyway, I hope you're doing well. Keep up what you're doing with your videos. And I am going to be closing this. Over and out.